Hi, I'm going to show you how to use Web Clipper from Obsidian and why to use it. You go to Obsidian MD Clipper, you add it to your Firefox or Chrome or whichever browser you're using, and this little icon gets added to your Chrome or Firefox. Why do we need it? Because it's a very cool tool to capture websites as text, and it adds this meta information to every page that you save. And pages, websites saved as text are much easier for any LLM, any AI to work with. Additionally, it allows you to highlight fragments that you consider important to keep. And these highlights get saved when you save the thing, which is really cool. And I'll show you how to do it with YouTube in a sec. You can bring all this information to your personal knowledge base, especially if you have an LLM wiki. These are all of the really important reasons why Obsidian Clipper can be very, very useful to you. So how does it work? If I open any page, like this one, for example, a blog of a friend of mine who is a 73-year-old now, not two, a guy who fell in love with Claude and is using Claude for all of his business. If I want to save this blog page as text with my highlights, I go to Obsidian here, Obsidian Web Clipper. I click this little icon, click, and the page becomes text. So then I can do a highlight. Basically, you click and drag, and this thingy becomes visible. You click on highlight, and it becomes yellow. If you want to undo it, you go back on it, click, and this thingy remove appears. You click on remove, the text is again white. So you can do many highlights, as many as you need, and then to save it, you go back to this icon, Obsidian Web Clipper, and you click on Save File, and you save it to whatever location. When this file gets saved, your highlights get saved as well. One of the cool ways to use this is also any chat. You know, it's easy to save copies like this of your single message, but if you, for example, want to save all of the conversation from Claude, like this one, a simple conversation about the differences between WhatsApp private and WhatsApp business, instead of copying each message and pasting it into a document, you can use Obsidian Web Clipper. You go to the same thing, this icon, the book icon, and look, it gives me all of the text, including my second message, and I can also, of course, highlight it and save wherever I want. And these saved yellow bits stay. If you have HTML files, you can also use Obsidian Web Clipper if you want to, and they will become uglier but text-based websites or documents. And of course you can do highlights as well. But my favorite use of Obsidian Web Clipper is with YouTube. So here you've got a video that got released today, and I really recommend it. You should watch it. It's only 18 minutes. So I am going to save this video as a transcript with my highlights and add it to my LLM wiki for AI learning, and also ask Claude in Terminal to ingest it. So how do I do it? Technically, in the regular YouTube view, if you want to see the transcript, you can somewhere here show transcript, and it shows here, but the typical way doesn't allow you to highlight anything. So what we do is we go to Obsidian Reading View, and we open any video in Reading View. So you've got the video on top, which stays on top. You've got the text of the transcript going below. So if I play it,
to Slack, and there was like two people that gave like
this little thingy here is the
Right.
I don't know if I was audible, so I'll repeat. This part is moving. This one is basically your timer. And again, in this text, in this transcript, you can do the highlights. I prepared these highlights already in advance because I watched the video this morning and made it ready for my LLM wiki. So now I'll show you how the ingest works. So I'm going to save it, Obsidian Web Clipper, save file. It will ask me where. And I'm going to say AI Wiki raw transcripts. That's where I'm going to save it. Save, and that's it. So now how do I access it? I can access it either through my regular folders, because my AI Wiki has this one, and this one are automatic folders made and created and maintained by Claude. I don't touch them. I only touch raw. So I add transcripts to my transcripts folder. Raw basically means my own materials, which I keep adding to the wiki. So I added it to transcripts, reflecting on a year of Claude code. If I open it as MD, because Obsidian saves as MD, it looks ugly and it doesn't show my highlights. That's why we really need Obsidian Web Clipper. You see, this is opened in my AI Wiki folder, which is my LLM Wiki, a new one. Not very many things in it yet, but it's good, you know, as a demo. So I open raw folder, I go to transcripts, and I go to reflecting on a year of Claude. And look how it looks. Much nicer than pure MD. It has all the meta information here, has the link itself, and it has my highlights. Why do I want to have highlights? Because then my Claude schema, my Claude MD, in my LLM Wiki, it can see the highlights, and it already knows that if I have highlights in any text, it means I really want to focus on these, and I want these to definitely become part of the wiki. I don't want Claude to skip any of them. So how do I ingest it? It's already saved in my raw, which is where Claude needs them to be. And I go to my Claude. I use Claude for now in terminal. I just ingested Sabrina's transcript. So it added a lot of information about Sabrina. And I tell my Claude, I just added a new transcript. Ingest it. Sonnet here is totally fine. My context is still good, like 50% is still fine. Sabrina took a lot of memory and context. So ingest it, enter. I don't need to give it any more instructions because it already understands what to do. If you watch the replay to LLM Wiki, you will have all the information how to set it up. So it found the new file. I didn't even have to specify it. It found this, reading it, and it will probably ask me a question or two what I want to save. It's not long. It's only 18 minutes transcript, so it might just add it by itself. We'll see. I can show you in the meantime, while it's thinking, what it added about Sabrina and how the graph view looks. So if I go back to my Obsidian view, I can show you graph. So this is how my new, not yet large LLM Wiki looks. So Sabrina is somewhere here as well. Carpathy is here. The middle is index, which is like the map of all of the concepts. And the folder called Wiki is something that Claude creates by itself. And it creates a lot of concepts, which also become these dots. And it creates people. So for example, earlier I added one transcript of Sabrina for now. And it created by itself all of this information about Sabrina. I did not tell it anything. It just discovered that Sabrina is the author of that particular transcript, and it added keywords and connections to my other concepts and all that page about Sabrina. And I have a couple of other people from the sources that I started adding just very, very recently. And they all become part of this graph view. So for example, if I highlight Sabrina Romanov here, it already links to, of course, index. Then it links to something like ways to make money. because I added the transcript of her video called 9 Ways to Make Money with AI. And this particular concept also links to AI education resources, to vibe coding, to content creation playbook, and so on. So each concept here links to many other concepts, and these connections are automatically made by Claude. So if I ask it any question about any person or concept or whatever is part of this wiki, it will be super easy for Claude to answer. Did it do the job? It's still thinking. It says good number of highlights. Let me check the existing pages I need to update before writing. I will now write everything in parallel: source page, 2 new concept pages, and then update 3 existing pages. So as you can see, Claude is basically creating my wiki. It is never adding to raw, because raw is my stuff, my raw materials that are the building blocks of the wiki, and Claude does everything else basically. It's now updating index, which is the kind of map of the whole wiki, and log, which is the log of changes of how the wiki gets changed and what things get added. And you don't need to worry about them. They are there for AI to possibly backtrack any changes and make edits if needed. So that's what it created. All of these pages were now created by Claude, including concepts, including how it might be relevant, for example, to my work. Highlights, it knows to focus on these highlights, and new links added. So now my graph will be getting larger and larger and larger and more connected, so it will be easier for me to be working with my stuff. So that's Obsidian and Obsidian Clipper. I hope you liked it, and I hope it will be useful to you as it is to me. Ciao, ciao.